At Healthcare Partners Medical Group, our mission is to provide the highest quality of healthcare to each and every patient. With 5 locations in Pahrump, we are local doctors you know and trust. We want to thank you for choosing us. Quality care starts here.
Pahrump Nugget, Progressive Cash Drawings, Mystery Point Multipliers, Mystery Gift Days, Extra Cash for 4 of a kinds, Bingo, Bowling, Football, and Food Specials. Looking for constant action? Look no further. Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino.
News 46 is brought to you by Healthcare Partners. News is brought to you in part by One Nevada Credit Union, where right now you can refinance your auto loan with rates as low as 2.98% and no payments for 90 days for qualified members. Call us today for details. News 46 is also brought to you by the Bankruptcy Center of Pahrump. When it comes to sensitive matters like bankruptcy, take a breath of fresh air by calling an experienced and compassionate attorney at the Bankruptcy Center of Pahrump, 775-727-4747. News is also brought to you by Pahrump Dermatology and Skin Cancer. When you need the best dermatology care in Pahrump, call Pahrump Dermatology and Skin Cancer, 775-727-9800. News 46 is also brought to you by Affiliated Chiropractic and Affiliated Physical Therapy. Come in for your free consultation. Call 775-727-8900. Our goal is to create the individual treatment plan that will restore your health and end pain. News is also brought to you by Hope Counseling Services, where we specialize in behavioral health, inspiring hope for a brighter tomorrow. Call 775-727-0101 for more information.
Tonight on News 46, 3 homes are destroyed in an early morning fire.
A former candidate asked for a recount.
The Nye County Republican Central Committee supports a petition. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Doug Brindle and Rhonda Van Winkle. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell. News 46. Local coverage you can count on.
Good evening, everyone. It's Friday, June 22nd, 2012. I'm Zach Fuentes.
And I'm Monique Murphy for News 46. Firefighters saved approximately 20 to 30 homes from a fast-moving structure and brush fire early this morning. This fire originally started on Rome Street, traveling down Lola Lane, jumping Bernard Street, and ending on Galley. Many residents were evacuated from their homes. Valley Electric Association is running lines to the homes in order for all residents to return.
Just before 1 o'clock, 2 Nye County Sheriff's deputies observed a fire condition. And what they did is they investigated what they observed. They found what appeared to be a single-wide structure that was well involved. Weather conditions were such that with the wind, the low relative humidity, and the relatively still high temperatures promulgated that fire in a very short fashion to extend to nearby properties, including going over several roadways onto adjacent properties heading further north. Thick brush, overabundance of material in some of the properties, but we had sustained winds of approximately 10 to 15 miles an hour, and then we had gusts up to 25 to 30. So those winds weren't even heading in a consistent direction. They were shifting winds, so at one point they were heading due north, then they shifted to the west.
There had to be an evacuation of the homes in the surrounding area.
We did precautionary evacuations with the assistance of the sheriff's office, and it was more of a precautionary measure. But I will tell you, there was at times that the fire was heading so fast with such ferocity that those evacuations were absolutely necessary. In this particular case, though, those that were evacuated were returned to their homes approximately 2 hours later.
How many homes or structures did we have burned?
Our preliminary count is 3 structures being homes, at least 1 shed, a Class 1 motorhome, and several utility poles.
And how much acreage do you think burned last night?
It's estimated about 15 acres were burned last evening. Now, out of those structures we just mentioned, only one was an actual occupied structure, but the owner was out of town, so it was idle at the time of the fire.
Did all the occupants of the homes leave readily when they were asked to leave there?
No, some of the citizens decided that they didn't want to evacuate, so it wasn't a mandatory at that point. However, we had the provisions in place that if necessary, they were going to become mandatory.
It appears that the area that the fire started from was difficult to get to.
It was. There was an overabundance of materials such as the salt cedars and the mesquites and the property it contained on. So as that was heading away from that direction following the wind, we had forecasted which way the fire was going to be heading, made those necessary precautions on the evacuations, and placed our resources along the path to quick effect an outcome such as we had, which we had the fire contained approximately an hour and a half after we arrived.
The flames were very high, but we also had a lot of hot embers.
A lot of embers. We established an ember patrol, which was well in advance of the fire, so we can try to maintain an idea of where that fire was going to possibly be going further. And the flame lengths, we are approximately between 50 to 70 feet in length.
Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue fought the fire. You called in a little bit of extra backup.
We did. We exercised our mutual aid agreement for some additional manpower and for some water shuttling. BLM also arrived, so the county came in with a couple of resources, as well as BLM also brought 2 engines over for manpower.
You've called in the state fire marshal.
Yes, the state fire marshal has been requested. They will be arriving tomorrow morning. We're keeping an eye on specific sections. As we know, there's at least what we consider 2.5 to almost 3 city blocks that were involved in the fire last evening. So we're covering that area. We're making sure, because again, we have sustained winds today. Winds are supposed to gust up again this evening, and we're supposed to have these conditions now through the weekend. So we're going to have crews mopping up, continue to monitor, and also doing ember patrols.
Advice that you might be able to give the citizens out there regarding brush, cleaning up, avoiding situations like this?
Yeah, just be diligent on making sure that there's no open flame in these areas around your property. Make sure that, again, even materials such as grinding and activities such as that, where there's any kind of material that could ignite the nearby brush. It's a highly volatile time, the fuel load is abundant, and the conditions are right for some serious fires.
This fire is considered suspect at this point?
We are considering a suspect, and until proven otherwise, and that's the reason for the state fire marshal coming in.
And the Pahrump Nugget has taken in a couple of displaced fire victims from the Lola Lane fire this morning. We caught up with Nancy Phillips, whose power was out due to the blaze.
We were awakened at 1 o'clock this morning, told to get out. Flames were shooting all over the place. We hung around the area till about 6:30 this morning till we could finally get into our home.
So your home was not burnt?
It was not burnt. We do have smoke damage, no utilities, no water, nothing like that.
But it did come real close to your home, right?
Oh yes, my next door neighbor's home is completely destroyed, absolutely demolished.
He actually lives in that home, but he's not home right now at this point.
That is correct. He is in Thailand right now.
Is he aware, do you know?
Yes, it very much hurt me to call him and tell him his home was burnt down.
So your potbelly pig?
Yes. Brat is doing fine. He buried himself in the dirt and came through everything just fine.
His name is Brat?
Brat.
And it came real close to your house, though, the row of trees, and you just had, just a narrow pathway between your home and fire.
That's correct. His entire, all the way to the fence line, our row of trees is going to be completely lost.
So you're staying here because you don't have power now. I know Valley Electric's trying to get the power on, but what was your experience with, and what would you like to say to the fire department?
Oh, thank you so much. You kept us informed. Chief Lewis, thank you so much. He just kept us going with everything. He gave us details as everything was going on. Let us know when we could go back up to the house. I just thank the fire department. They were absolutely awesome.
And as we head into our first break, here's Jeff Simmons from the Pahrump Nugget.
Hi, I'm Jeff Simmons, the bingo director here at the Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino. Okay, we got on the stage bar this weekend at the Nugget, we have state-of-the-art. Come on down with some great dancing, live music. And also at Lakeside on June 23rd, starting at 5 p.m., we have the band called The Core. It's an outdoor event. It'll be a lot of fun, a lot of straight stuff going on, barbecues and drinks and everything outside. Come on over to Lakeside on June 23rd, see The Core. In bingo, we got a new thing starting this month for the Nugget and Goldtown. We're going to have a session for new bingo players only. If you haven't played bingo in the last 60 days, we'll count you as a brand new player. All players will receive $100 in free slot play. and you can redeem that slot play when you go out and play a regular session of bingo. And plus, the prizes will be a great prize to all the winners at that session. We'll play 4 games and get a prize, and everybody gets $100 in slot play. So that will start. I got the dates here. At Go Town, it's June 30th and July 14th. This is at 4 p.m. And at the Nugget, we'll have it on July 7th and July 21st at 4 p.m. So anybody wants to learn how to play bingo, come and see me or Kathy over at Go Town, and we'll explain how it all works, and we'll teach you how to play. And then we got July... June 30th is when we have our 4th of July fireworks show, and that would be outside here at the Nugget. We got a lot of good stuff going on outside for the kids, watermelon, pie eating contests, and all kinds of stuff. We got games outside. So come on down June 30th. We'll be celebrating 4th of July. We got a lot of cash drawings starting at 7:30. We got $500 at 7:30, $1,000 at 8:30, and $1,500 cash drawing at 9:45. And the fireworks show will start at 9 p.m. And also, for the 4th of July special and bingo here at the Nugget, I got special payouts and special drawings at July 4th at the 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock session. So, and we'll have free gift day on July 20th. I'll repeat this next week too, so everybody can keep up on it. So July 20th at the Nugget, we'll have a free gift day, and we'll be giving out free gifts to all the players. So looking forward to seeing everybody, and come on down, and looking forward to see you. Bye.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Children's Dentistry of Pahrump, specializing in sedation dentistry, now accepting adult patients. Call now for free IV sedation with dental implant, 751-2184.
And welcome back. Lanes of Interstate 15 have reopened near the California-Nevada state line after a tanker crash and chemical spill. California Highway Patrol said a hazardous materials team cleaned up 3,000 gallons of corrosive ferric chloride and a small amount of diesel fuel in the center median. The cause of the spill was a result of a truck that collided with a car a little before 6:30 this morning. No one was hurt in the crash or from the spill.
Former candidate for Nye County Commissioner District 3, Andy Alberti, is willing to pay $300 to have a recount of the primary election results.
Well, I'm probably one of the few candidates that had a lot of people working in his campaign. Raised money, had plenty of money to spend. We did all the right things, but sometimes you just don't know until the votes are counted, and that's where it came in. So we worked hard, had a lot of signs out. We even did robocalls and some other things. So when we lost by 2 votes, we thought that's so close. The people who were helping me in the campaign all said, you got to do this. So we're going to go for a recount. Donna Cox had the closer number. However, I've had some questions. I never go into an issue without trying to learn everything I can about how things are done. So I, having read the state NRSs and the code and so forth, had some questions which I have sent to the county clerk, the state elections official, and the district attorney to get some clarification. And I am now waiting to hear back on some of those issues. And if I can, I'd like to explain what one of those issues are. In the Nevada law, it says that if you pay for a recount, that you're entitled and you prevail, that you can get your money back. Mm-hmm. So I'm paying, if I prevail, hopefully I can have that money back in my pocket.
And that money being how much?
$300 is what they're telling me they want up front. Mm-hmm. So my real question here is what prevail means and what we're going to recount. Mm-hmm. So my initial conversation with the clerk was that they're going to count only 3 of the 6 precincts in my district, and my reading on state law says count and recount, not partial recount and not survey. So I've made a request in writing to the clerk and the others as to whether I'm entitled to a full recount or just a partial recount.
Well, because it's so close.
Well, sure, and you never know where, if there is an error, and we're not saying there is, but we want to be sure. We think every vote should be counted. There's no provision in state law that I can find or in any of the Nevada codes that says that you should do a partial recount.
The approximately 11,987-acre North Shell fire is 60% contained. Full containment is expected by July 4th. A red flag warning will remain in effect for the next 24 hours for high winds. The fire is burning in steep, rugged terrain on the east side of the Shell Mountain Range, 20 miles northeast of Ely, Nevada. It is consuming white fir, mountain mahogany, pinyon pine, juniper grass, understory, and sagebrush. State Route 893 is open to the public, but motorists are encouraged to remain out of the fire area. Kalamazoo Road remains closed until further notice.
And folks, keep it here because we'll be back after this break.